after the disaster that was PSGL Cota. One has to wonder.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Really? Kite washed.
Oh my god. Oh, pace today was non-existent.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Here we go.
I had done a lot of prep before this weekend. My personal best currently is a 26-1, but going through turn 1, we have a little moment on exit, and that's surely going to cost us a 10th or a 10th and a half. Through the S's, you have to nail the line. If you turn in just a little too late for any of these corners, you're going to be in big trouble for the next one because it's going to compromise your whole sector. It was decent if we don't consider turn 1, but still, it was a little under the limit. And now, through Degner 1 and 2, a little lift, slight hesitation on throttle. Not as committed as I would have liked. But we have to push on. Through this hairpin now, there's a lot of time to gain here, but we brake just a little too late, losing the rear under braking. A little wiggle on the exit as well. That's not ideal, but it does mean in our next laps, we should be able to gain loads of time here, using the battery down to about 45%, and now we have to be committed, a little safe, not carrying as much speed as I would have liked through Spoon, and on the exit, again, it's a smooth lap, but it's not a very fast lap. We're coming into 130R here. What the hell is going on here? We narrowly miss Will Gibson's kick, and another car parked almost right on the apex of 130R. And through these last two chicanes, a little hesitation again on turn-in, and I think I broke a little too early there. Not carrying as much speed I would have liked, staying close to the inside wall for minimized driving distance, and it's only 26.9.
Almost a second off my pace. I gotta lock in.
But we still got 2 shots left, and that should be plenty enough to allow us to improve. Plus, the race is also going to be half dry, half wet, so that's going to keep things very, very interesting. Into turn 1, we take it a lot better this time, hitting the apex, and no wiggle on the exit, already a 10th up. This is looking good for the lap, and we're close to 2 tenths up, coming into the 2 final corners of the S's, but we go a little wide and a little wiggle on the exit, and we lost a full 10th there. Not really ideal. Now through Degner 1 and 2, there's some time to find here, but we bottom out, and that's our lap down the drains, and I really wasn't happy with that because we only have 1 set of softs left, and the pressure is on. Again, we get a really good turn 1, and into the S's. Good speed, 2 tenths up, a little wiggle here. This is not good. I'm getting nervous on the wheel. But sometimes when you try your hardest not to make a mistake, that's when the mistakes happen even more. Truly, truly unfortunate.
Did I get dirtier or what's going on? I can't believe this, man. Couldn't get a single lap together, man. Are we dead last? P15.
Truly an unfortunate moment. This means we're going to be starting P15. And with the rain coming in the later stages of the race, we opted to go for the hards to try to make it to the rain without stopping, because it is so difficult to overtake around Suzuka, especially with the level of wings everybody will be running. Now into turn 1, I'm just going to take it a little chill here because a lot of people are getting their elbows out on this opening lap. There are contacts everywhere because I do not want to be caught up in it on the opening lap and lose my front wing because of it. There's a medium runner, the Alpine, right in front of us, and they're pushing each other through the S's, and we're just sitting here full battery waiting for our chance to pounce, and there we go, they touch, and just barely the Alpine ghosts. And this is just like in PSGL Qatar where you can't tell whether the car is ghosted fully or not, and I had to take it a little safer, and for a brief moment there, I believe we were dead last. P17 on the grid. This is now a proper last to first challenge.
How the hell?
But this is also where I realized one crucial thing.
I think we might have more wings than everyone.
Now, this does give us the advantage in the corners, but on the straights, it's going to be a little more difficult to overtake. But 2 or 3 extra clicks of wings is not necessarily going to slow you down that much on the straights. It's going to have to come down to battery management. But right now, there's a hungry Alpine behind us, and those mediums are incredibly fast in these opening laps, and he's glued to the back of our gearbox, and I sense he wants to go for a send here, so I'm gonna have to go on the attack myself, not to necessarily go for a move, because I know it's probably not gonna stick.
Good on him for leaving room there, actually.
But more so to defend from the Alpine behind. And really good thing on the V-carb in front of me to give me space into the hairpin. Very good situational awareness from the driver. And let me tell you, through Spoon,
Oh my god, the dirty air.
it's very, very easy to get caught off guard with dirty air. And some drivers won't be so lucky in the race today. And heading towards 130R, I'm draining my battery, constantly looking behind because that's just how fast the mediums are right now. And into the chicane, I sense he wants to go for it. He goes down the inside for a huge lunge. Leave him some room on the inside. And we're going side by side through the chicane. We both leave each other just enough room. Beautiful racing. But we had the outside line going onto the main straight and better traction out of that last corner.
Okay.
So we managed to fend them off for now. But those mediums are still probably a lot faster than these hards. And again, out of Degner too, he's glued to the back of our car and into the hairpin. I sense he wants to send it again, so I'm gonna leave him some room down the inside. We're going side by side through the chicane, but on the outside line, we can carry more speed and we get better traction out of the corner as well. This is what I
hitting
mean.
me, bro.
And overtaking in F125 is so difficult. Unless you go for crazy moves or very, very risky maneuvers, it's very hard to overtake another car. But now, the V-carb has gone very, very deep into the Spoon, and this compromises his exit onto the straight. We're gonna tuck into the slipstream, but so does he, so it's gonna have to come down to battery usage. He goes into recharge very, very early. I'm gonna turn the battery back on. I think he's run out. Into the last corner, we're gonna go for a fake little dummy, and he completely off-brakes himself.
Corners this way, bud.
I ain't complaining. Free position for us.
Okay, train is still together. I like that.
Now, we have to spend a lap or a lap and a half just to recharge so we can go back on the attack again. But through Spoon, look at how much we just closed up on the back of that Ferrari.
Gained so much time through here.
This is what I mean. A few clicks of wings is not going to cost you that much top speed, but it could just help you so much in the corners. And it seems like the train might have slowed down a little bit, and the Ferrari is ready to pounce on the Williams. And as soon as I realize this, I turn off my battery because why burn all of my battery if they're going to be burning theirs as well? So I'm just going to wait another lap, wait for my opportunity to do it. And Marcos really didn't do himself any favor here. He went for a wet setup, which puts you in a very, very bad position in the dry. I almost ran him into the final corner, but on the main straight, he's not going to put up that much of a fight. He knows his fight is not against us. He's probably just going to leave it in medium and not fight it too hard. And I'm grateful for that. We move up to P14 now. Not bad.
He's got less wings than us, I think. Have to recharge a little bit.
And sometimes it's just best to stay inside that 1 second window, but not stay too close as to get a full whiff of that dirty air. Because into the braking zone here, we're going to close up to the back of him anyways and make up all that quote-unquote lost time. But wait a minute, what do I see here?
Or is he just
Flashing red light, which means he's either recharging or he's under 15%. And I'm sitting on a full battery here. So if we keep this up, we're going to line up for a move on the next lap very, very soon. And we just need a good exit out of this final chicane, and we should be able to get him on the main straight. But out of the corner, woo, I almost followed Michael in his mistake. We're going to have to wait a lap for our move.
Oh, that was a bad exit. Fuck my life.
Because we have a Ferrari to catch. And into the final chicane. Can I get it right this time? A good exit, please. I had to use a lot of battery to catch up to him, but he's already flashing. Well, I still had 30%. It's easy move.
Nice. Nice.
But we are approaching puncture territory really fast as well. And the sky still looks pretty blue, if you ask me.
Getting pretty good at that corner.
And we're already sitting in P11, which is pretty impressive considering we started last. But it's not over yet. We still got plenty of positions to gain. We still got a lot of laps left in this race to make moves. And unfortunately, something happened in front, and that split the train in two. But the leader of this train is P6, so this means we're still in the fight for P6, considering we started last.
Oh, this is looking naughty.
Indeed, it is getting pretty naughty in front because the sky is getting pretty gray. This means rain is only a few laps out, and people are getting a little antsy because they want to make the overtakes happen. While DRS is still available, because once the rain hits, it's going to be a lot harder. But the McLaren goes off track, and I hesitated a little moment, but then I decided to go for it, and now it's a drag race down the back straight into 130R, and you just know we both got overtake on. And who is gonna back out? I've got the car slightly ahead into 130R, but he's got a wife and 2 kids at home, so he's gonna back out of there. But wait, he goes back on the attack, sends it down the inside, leave him some room, going deep into the braking zone, and he goes for the switchback, but I have superior traction and I cover off the inside line. Ooh, that was pretty intense, but I suspect he probably ran out of battery on the main straight, and I still had about 30% left, and that's another move done up to P10.
That somebody on fresh mediums, right?
But there's a Ferrari on the mediums, and I don't think that's somebody that's boxed. It's somebody on old mediums. Somehow they're still going after 16 laps. I gotta talk to this guy. This is some kind of tire whisperer. However, things are about to heat up here. 4 cars in a conga line headed towards Spoon. 1/10 from each other is just begging for disaster. And I'm gonna put it in none very, very early because if they're gonna battle, we're still gonna close up on them anyway. Somebody bottoms out on the outside curb. The Haas lags back. What the hell is even going on here? Not really a move on my part, but we still gain a position. We're now in the points. This is just hilarious. And again, I'm just gonna pretend to send it down the inside, make them lose time, break deep, and I'm gonna set up the exit here out of the final corner. Should be an easy move. They got very, very old mediums. They're struggling for traction, and I'm burning all of my battery down the main straight. So is he. Does he have more? And he gets back into the slipstream of the car in front. Is that gonna be enough? Into turn 1, leave some room on the outside. A little touchy-touchy. Woo! But we make the move stick. God, that was beautiful. Yeah. Almost brings a tear to my eye. And now P5 is gone, but P6 is within our reach after having started dead last. Well, almost dead last.
Oh, it's raining.
And on lap 18, the first droplets hit the track. But it seems like my pace is not that great anymore. And already I'm going to prepare the intermediates because very soon we're going to have to box off of these very, very old hards. And I'm going to have to try something to overtake these 2 in front because they got pretty good pace.
It's slippery now. Yeah, they're already prepared.
And these hards were all but done. And by the end of lap 19, it was time to go into the pits and put on a fresh set of intermediates. Might have been a little too safe on the pit entry, but it's better be safe than sorry than to get a 10-second penalty in the pits because he sped. And now we're going to have to be very sharp on this outlap. It's going to be absolutely critical if we want to gain track position because without DRS, overtaking is going to become a lot harder.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Oh no, it's Michael again.
It seems that fate has put us on the same path again.
Flashbacks, guys.
And this is very, very not ideal because he's going to be giving us dirty air the entire lap. Whether this was intentional or not, we can't really prove it. It's certainly less blatant than what he did at Qatar. But later he told me that he has learned his lesson. So I hope that's really the case and he was just doing his own race here. But staying behind him through these fast speed corners, it's going to be very much not ideal. And again, he's using a lot of his battery here, and I don't want to overtake, go side by side through 130R, but maybe I should have. I expected to have enough overspeed coming around 130R, but that was not the case. And I have to tuck in behind him through the chicane where he's super, super slow. And he goes into the pits to retire his car anyways. So why not just have the courtesy to let me go? Whatever. I had to get my head down so much, and we still have 6 laps of racing left. And now coming out of the pits, has our undercut paid off? Unfortunately, we're just not enough alongside into turn 1.
This guy, man.
And yeah, staying behind Michael through those corners really cost us. And now we're in P8, but still, P8 is pretty good, and we have to fight on as Michael simply leaves the session unceremoniously. Maybe if I stay with him, they're gonna tangle on the last few laps, and I'm gonna be able to capitalize on that because these guys are pretty fast, and I'm not sure I can overtake them on raw pace alone, but life is funny.
Oh no.
Yeah. And by the time I get back on track, the Ferrari that we worked so hard to overtake during our first stint gets past. But the race is on. I knew from memory that he was running very, very low downforce in the dry. So in the wet, he's going to struggle even more. But the gap is 1.7 seconds. Can I first catch him and then overtake him with only 6 laps to go? And through 130R, we've already gained about 2/10. And again, through the braking zone, we're gonna gain so much more. We can just have so much better traction compared to somebody with basically 0 wings. It's still possible. P8 is still on, baby. And now it's going to be a timing battle. Through Dagner 1 and 2, I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna take it a little chill here. That's why I lose a little bit of time compared to the Ferrari. But through this hairpin, I can just brake so much later and then get back on the power so much earlier compared to the Ferrari. Even if we're starting to get into his dirty air, we're almost within that 1 second gap. But remember, in the rain, there is no DRS, and the track is only gonna get more and more slippery. We're on a timer here to get past him, and forget about getting back to P6 and P7.
I don't know.
They're long gone. And again, we're getting closer and closer through the chicane. The car balance was simply amazing. And again, we gained some crucial time, a 10th or 2 maybe, but every 10th counts right now. He's gonna gain some back on the straights, but we're gonna gain so much through spoon and on the exit as well, using the brakes to shift the weight of the car forward. And even though we're in the dirty air, we managed to stay within 5/10 of him. I'm gonna get a healthy dose of slipstream all the way down into turn 1.
We don't have to manage anymore.
Only 3 laps to go. This is it. We gotta lock in. And again, same story here. Through spoon, it goes a little deep, a little wide, and we just can get on the power so much easier compared to the Ferrari. And now we're gonna drain our battery all the way down towards 130R. We're closer than ever before, but in the wet 130R, it's not flat. I'm gonna lift a little bit so we can carry more speed on the exit. A fake a little dummy, and he goes a little defensive, which is gonna compromise his exit onto the main straight. And now we're within 2/10 of the Ferrari. Can we do it? Less than 40% battery left in the tank, and I'm gonna use everything I got. Can we make this happen? But look at the overspeed we're gonna gain, and I'm gonna go down the inside into turn 1, and I'm gonna leave some room on the outside. Beautiful racing, but we managed to just inch ahead, covering off the switchback as well. Oh my god, I had to work for that one. With only a lap and a half to go, we shouldn't be able to catch up to P6 and 7, but even though the qualifying could have been better, that was nothing short of a brilliant race, and that's something to be proud of. If only my qualifying pace was as good as my race pace. But still, we're still only sitting in P14 in the driver's standings. Our lacking qualifying pace has just been biting us in the ass. With only 3 more rounds to go, it's time to lock in, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this league racing video, make sure to subscribe so you don't ever miss out on any one of my uploads. This is Worm Lakai signing off, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.